Hey everyone, it's me, Ari.com Rashid. I'm an anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel. Check my notes on Amazon. Here are just a few of them. Thank you very much. And those are the links below, please. Thank you. Okay. Illiteracy. Being illiterate. A lot of people think illiterate only means you can't read or write. Question. If you grew up in the United States, in a Protestant household or Catholic household, whatever, with no knowledge at all about the Middle East, Arabic, none of it, and you would travel to Saudi Arabia or any country where Arab is the written and spoken language, to those people you are illiterate because you can't speak nor read Arab. If I go to China, mainland China I'm talking about, to them I'm illiterate when it comes to the Chinese language because I can't read nor write Chinese. So illiterate can be relative. Now, someone who totally cannot read nor write at all, no writing system, okay, they're directly illiterate. That's clear. But you also have something called functional illiteracy. Functional illiteracy is when someone can read and write in their own language, but they cannot process properly what they're reading. And when it comes to writing, they have a very hard time forming sentences to express themselves properly. Now, everyone has to learn how to express themselves in language in an effective way, all of us. It's just that there are some people who are struggling and lacking in this functional illiteracy. And people functional illiterate, you can explain something to them in easy terms. They hear you, they understand the meaning of the words, but they cannot form an image to what you said, and they cannot let it marinate in them what the ramifications, implications are of what you said. Now, why am I talking about this? Look up on Google Hollywood actors or Hollywood stars or celebrities who are illiterate or are considered illiterate. Look it up. Look at the names that show up. One of them I refer on to Steven Spielberg. Is considered functional illiterate. Now, I'm not saying he can't read nor write in English or whatever language he speaks. It's simply that he was considered when he was younger to have a learning disability. Well, you will say, "Well, shit, Steven Spielberg, this famous movie director, yes." But just look at the list, you're going to be shocked. Now, why is this important to understand? Illiteracy, direct illiteracy that you can't read nor write any language, okay, that exists. But you also have functional illiteracy that is often underreported. Listen, there are places in the world where instead of letters that warn people in sentences, they put out images. Why? Because a lot of people could not understand what's written on the sign. It happens. Sometimes you may be giving a presentation to people and you have some text written in your PowerPoint, and they'll complain about your presentation saying you didn't use many graphics or you didn't use many pictures. And you think, hold on a minute, I put all the information needed in the PowerPoint, but that's the issue, you did it. You did it, but the thing is, they can't understand it. Don't think that just because someone has a university degree or even a PhD, they can't be illiterate. I'm not talking about direct illiteracy, that you cannot read and write any writing system. I'm talking about functional illiteracy, which also linked to emotional illiteracy. Because if you're functional illiterate, that means you also have emotional illiteracy because you have a hard time processing what type of situation you're in. And people like that, you can warn them. Let's say you have a woman and she's talking about this guy she went on a date with, and she has warm sexual feelings for the guy, and you warn her that the guy may not be a good match. You tell her exactly why. Now, you assume she understood what you said, but the thing is, because if she's functionally illiterate, the only thing that goes through her mind is, "Oh, this guy makes me wet down there. This guy is handsome, this guy is this and that. I got something about this guy. This other individual over here doesn't know what I'm feeling. And they're telling me this guy that makes you feel good is bad for me, but I feel good over there. Okay, but okay, they're wrong. I hear what they're saying about the guy, and I do agree that there's some valid points, but what does valid points mean to me? They cannot process what you said because they're emotionally dysfunctional, and this emotional dysfunction also hinders their literacy. So you may hear later that she's with the same guy over and over again. You think, hold on a minute, didn't I warn about that guy? Why is she keep coming to us for support? But she just lives for our advice. Ask yourself, did she even understand your warning? Did she even understand it was the one you gave to her? And does she even understand what responsibility is? Because in her mind, you are one of her friends or your family, so you should look after her. But hold on a minute, it's a two-way street. She has to look after you too. So she has to be responsible to what you guys do, and she also has her part to do. But what if she doesn't understand that? Because she's functional illiterate, which also contains emotional illiteracy. Look, when you read the Bible in the New Testament, there is this part when Jesus was hungry, he was with the disciples, and he saw a fig tree from afar. He, being hungry, rushed to the fig tree because the fig tree had leaves on it. He climbed the fig tree, but to his disappointment, there were no figs on the tree. One thing you note about the fig tree, the moment there are leaves on it, there should be fruit on it. The fruit may not be fully ripe yet, but there should be figs on the tree the moment there are leaves on it. So if you see a fig tree with leaves on it, you can safely assume there will be fruit on it too. Now, this was an exceptional situation because it was a barren fig tree. A fig tree that was misleading. That's the difference. Okay. If you go to a hospital and someone walks in a nurse's uniform, you have a right to assume that's a nurse. Or if there's a crime scene over there and you see all these police cars, you have a right to assume, you can still assume that everyone there with a police uniform is actual police. Could it be that a criminal is hiding amongst them dressed like a police officer? That can be the case. But that would be an exceptional thing. Assumptions in themselves are not wrong if they're rooted in facts and a realistic context. The problem becomes when your assumptions cannot be accounted for. Now, when someone is a child, you can't expect them to be literate because children have to learn to read and write. Children also have to learn emotional competence still. Children have to still develop their mind. But when someone is an adult, they should be literate, the right to know how to read and write, and they should be able to process their emotions, and they should have emotional competence. That's true. But question, is everyone well developed as an adult? No, they're not. No, they're not. So when you're dealing with someone, ask yourself first, can this individual even understand what I'm saying here or showing them? Can this individual understand and process what I'm saying and showing towards them? If not, it's better for you not to reveal or show or tell them what you want to say, or you may have to change how you're saying or showing it. Next thing you need to ask is this individual willing to admit that they lack understanding and they need help? Because one thing about functional literacy, a lot of people remain that way because they won't admit that they need help. They don't admit it. If they're not willing to admit it, guess what? You waste your time over there. You cause the bills for a swine. Listen, I don't blame you. It's not your fault. I'm informing you. I have to learn this too. You have a lot of functional illiterate people out there. Some of them even have PhDs. Some of them are in government. Some of them are in church. Some of them are in the military. Yes, there are. And because they're functional illiterate, they're dysfunctional, they're defective in how they operate. And this makes them a perfect candidate for evil spirits to use them. Even evil people and criminal gangs and political groups with wrong intentions can use them. And because of functional illiteracy, they often are naive when people take advantage of them. So when you see someone out there being promoted by society, it could be that's a functional illiterate individual, And because that individual isn't even aware they're being used, taken advantage of. And that's the only reason they're promoted, because people have something on them. Maybe not an actual criminal scandal or whatever, but the fact that they're functionally illiterate. Hey, and this may be shock to you, but just do your own research about this. Again, use information the right way, in a problem-solving way. Don't go out there escalating on people if you find out they're functionally illiterate and all that, because it can be shock for them too, and you need to be solution-oriented, okay? Understand you have a lot of functional illiterate people out there, and it's something a lot of media don't want to talk about because it's quite shocking. Okay? Because this will show the failure of both the school system, the education system, as well as civil society. It reveals failures of a lot of factors out there. Now, we don't deal with society, we deal with community. But I'm telling you, even a lot of communities failed, even amongst believers. So, okay. Unfortunately, you cannot just assume that when someone's an adult, they're functional as an adult. They're an adult, but it could be they're not well developed and have all these traumatic issues or damages that they're operating in. And a lot of them aren't even aware that they're lacking. If you have a lot of illiterate people with high positions in a community, and they are validating this illiteracy as, I'm saying, they don't even know they're illiterate. So now you have a lot of illiterate people growing up, don't realize how illiterate they are, that they need help, because you have a lot of illiterate people like them in positions of power, making decisions. And that's where the Western world is right now. So it's something for you to consider. What's it for now? Keep on committing to Christ, be solution focused, and see you in my next live stream. Hit the like button, share this video, check my novels on Amazon, and download the links below. Shalom.